I think we're live. Hello and welcome everyone to the live virtual book tour. I'm using Restream. It's a new software that I've been testing out to do my live streams. We're actually streaming out to like 12 different social media channels. So I don't know where everyone's watching from. I think I can get my chat in here if someone wants to put any comments in the chat. Let's see. Okay, I can see the chats. So if anyone wants to put anything in the chat, you can go ahead and do that. I can see the chat for most of the channels that we're streaming out to. And I just want to welcome everyone to the virtual book tour. You know, years ago, 2009, I wrote my first book, and it was the topic was selling real estate at auction as well. It was Real Estate Auction Secrets Exposed. That was the title of the book. That was right after the 2009 collapse. And I used to promote the book by driving around and, visiting bookstores and various multiple listing service associations around the state and the country to promote the book. But now with the internet, I can do my virtual book tours online, like I'm doing now. So technology has come a long way, and I'd much rather prefer to do it from the comfort of my home office than driving around and visiting bookstores and different locations. So it's much easier. So hopefully you'll enjoy the tour, and I hope to be doing more of these. So my name is Giacomo Sinisgalli, and I am the author of the book, Selling Real Estate at Auction: The Key to Scaling Your Business and Skyrocketing Your Income as a Real Estate Agent. And like I said, this is my second book. I wrote the first book in 2009, and a lot has changed since that first book came out with technology and the market. So I felt it was really time for me to write my second book. And I'll tell you, I had no idea that I would have even written my first book when I first started out. And now my second book. So I'm pretty amazed that I've written two books when the first book to me was like climbing Mount Everest. It was on my bucket list for years and years, and I wrote that first book, and I never thought I'd be writing a second book. So I did that second book this year, published it at the end of March. I had COVID when I did the audiobooks. I got it on Audible, and I blocked out a week to record the book on Audible, and I ended up getting COVID. So it was very difficult for me to record the book, but I didn't want to hire a voiceover talent. I wanted to make sure I did that myself. And it came out pretty good, actually. If I may say so myself. I'm my biggest critic. So if I think it sounds good or it came out good, I think that you will feel the same way. So anyway, auctions have been used as a way to buy and sell real estate for decades. And thanks to the internet, online auctions have become even more popular, whether you're selling residential or commercial properties. So right now, online auctions are becoming more and more popular. In fact, if you follow me on social media, you'll see that I do post a lot of articles and news alerts and case studies of all the different properties that are being sold at auction around the United States and as far away as Australia. And I do that because I'm trying to promote the auction method, and I want agents that see these articles and these case studies to be inspired by what they can do with auctions, because for years auctions have had a lot of myths surrounding them, a lot of disinformation, and just a lot of negativity. And that's really not the case. But there's a flip side to that. Because of that misconception about auctions, myself and other auctioneers have enjoyed very little competition. And that's the way I wanted to keep it for over 30 years of being in the business. I had very little competition because a lot of agents just did not know enough about auctions. So I never had to worry about competitors. But if you follow me on social media, you will see that I post a lot of articles, and I recently posted this one. Let's see if I can get it up on the screen here. Give me a second. So I recently posted this article, and it's an online auction platform called Crexy. I don't know if you're familiar, but online auctions or auctions in general can be used to sell residential and commercial real estate and or commercial real estate. So either one, any type of property actually. But this is an article I just posted recently. Crexy nets record $205 million online auction deal for a Las Vegas business park. So this is a commercial auction that was sold online, an online auction for 205 million. So this misconception that auctions are just for distressed properties or properties in foreclosure, it's really not true at all. Auctions can be used to sell all types of properties. Not every property can be sold at auction. I'll talk more about that. But auctions are being used to sell everything from distressed pre-foreclosures, foreclosures, vacants, to multi-million dollar commercial properties, hotels. If you did some research online, you would see that multi-million dollar estates are being sold at auction, and so it's really not limited to distressed properties. And this article that I posted earlier today hopefully inspired some commercial brokers and agents to start taking a closer look at auctions, and more are actually doing it. Okay. So if you're familiar with 10X or Crexy or some of these other online auction platforms. So let me stop sharing that. And today, the internet has just changed the way buyers search for and acquire property, right? Now, buyers can participate in a real estate auction from anywhere in the world. They can tour the property. They conduct their due diligence online. They can sign documents online through DocuSign and other electronic docu-signing software. They can place bids from anywhere in the world at any time over the internet using a mobile device. So it's a really great way for agents who want to expand their market share. If they want to get out of their local market and kind of expand wherever they're licensed, because you can do these sales over the internet. And this is why more and more real estate professionals are using online auctions as a way to sell property, because inventory is tight right now, right? And it might be really tight in your market. So the ability to be able to expand outside of your market area, go online to sell these properties virtually anywhere. You can be licensed, for example, in New York or Florida or California, but you can be on vacation in Italy or somewhere else in the world and sell your properties using these online auctions. So that's one of the great things that I love about the auction industry. Now, for years, I was doing live auctions, and now since 2015, I've conducted all of my auctions online. If you had told me that years ago, that I'd be doing 100% of my auctions online, I never would have believed it. But now here we are. 100% of my auctions since 2015 have been conducted online. All right. So before we get into the book, let me share just some of my favorite reasons why I prefer to sell real estate at auction. Now, I was a traditional real estate broker when I first started out, and then I transitioned into becoming a real estate auctioneer. And it was gradual, and then it became a full-time specialty for me, a full-time niche, selling real estate at auction. Now, I'm not telling you that's what you have to do as a traditional agent. What I'm saying is you should learn how to sell real estate at auction so that you can offer it as part of the services that you're already offering anyway. You're out there prospecting and looking for sellers to list and sell their property. But adding auctions as a service will open you up to so many different types of property, seller situations, and a whole niche of properties that you're probably not looking at right now. So when a traditional agent, when I hear them say that there's a lack of inventory, it's because they don't know where to look. They're looking through that traditional um, method, the traditional sales method lens, okay, and they're looking for a specific type of traditional seller. As an auctioneer, we're trained to look for a whole different type of seller, and there's just a whole another list of sources that you can find these motivated sellers um, to sell their properties. And that's what I specialize in. And for the past 30 years, I've become an expert at finding motivated sellers, where to look, what to look for, and then how to sell them at auction. So let me go through some of the advantages and some of the reasons why I love selling real estate at auction. Okay. And when I'm doing this, when I go through some of these advantages, try to think for yourself about how these advantages may compare to the traditional sales method that you're currently using, and how learning how to sell real estate at auction could potentially increase your listing inventory, your sales, and your income. And I'm 100% certain that it could. But the light bulb has to go off in your head, and that's why you're here on this virtual book tour, because you're looking possibly for something different, right? Something in the market has to change for you because there's a lot of competition, right? Real estate agents have more competition than I don't out of any industry that I can think of. And for you as a traditional agent to go out and prospect and look for a seller client, and then your sales pitch to get that client is to lower your commission to be more competitive, that's not a good business strategy. Instead, you need to, number one, focus on a niche, okay? Focus on a niche industry. And what does that mean? It means that you have to focus on something, a niche market where there's very little competition, all right? And with auctions, there is very little competition. And in some areas, there's literally no competition, okay? Now, I don't know what area you're watching from, but in most areas, there's very little to no competition in this industry. So that's the first reason why I really like auctions. And like I said, for the past 32 years, I had very little to no competition in my market area, and I enjoyed that. So the second thing is that it's a unique market, okay? And when you're on a listing appointment, you have a unique selling proposition or USP when you're an auctioneer, when you're selling real estate at auction, or when you're able to offer auctions as a service. So when you go on a listing appointment, you have to think to yourself, what makes you different than the last agent that just came through and delivered a listing presentation? Or if you're on a phone with a seller or a potential lead, what makes your pitch, your unique selling proposition different than the last 10 agents that called the seller? Not much if you're a traditional agent. It's basically all the same, right? Unless you're a top producer or you're with a company that you can say is, we're number one in the area, or whatever. You have to have a unique selling proposition that goes above and beyond that. You have to be able to deliver some value. And most traditional agents don't have anything unique. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. It's just a fact. Traditional agents all have basically the same sales and marketing approach, right? Put it on the MLS, syndicate it out, and there's really nothing else that they can do for you. Um, so you got to think about that. You spend hours generating leads and prospecting. And if you're lucky enough to get an appointment with a seller, you sit down and present the same traditional marketing plan that every other agent is offering. And chances are that sellers have probably heard it several times before. Okay. And auction marketing allows you to provide sellers with a completely alternative marketing plan that few, if any, agents are offering. So if agents want to survive in an industry as crowded as ours, as competitive as ours, they need to specialize in a niche. And it doesn't have to be auctions. We're talking about auctions here now because this is a virtual book tour about a book selling real estate at auction. You don't have to specialize in auctions. Pick a niche: veterans, or first-time home buyers, or pre-foreclosures, or estates, or whatever. You Google real estate niche markets and figure out a good niche that you feel comfortable working in, and then become the go-to expert in that niche. And you'll find that sellers will seek you out. They're looking for experts. And by doing so, you will have a unique selling proposition. Okay. But I'm in the auction industry and that's my niche. And there's a lot of sub niches within that. And that's what we're talking about. So stick with me. Maybe this is something that might pique your interest. All right. So the next reason that I love selling real estate at auction is that there are no inspection contingencies. Now, when I say that, a lot of people think, oh, we have to buy the property sight unseen, or you get what, you have to buy the property and you get it in any condition that it comes in, and there's nothing you can do about it. But that's not true. What that means is a buyer has to do their inspections before they attend the auction. So we grant them inspection period. They can do their inspections at any time up until the auction. Or at the auction, they have to waive their inspection because there's no inspection contingency in the contract. But it doesn't mean that they can't do an inspection. As an auctioneer, I encourage buyers to do their inspection. I don't want any issues with buyers. I don't want to hurt my reputation, and I don't want any buyers to lose money or buy something that has an issue. So we do full disclosure. We do property condition disclosures. We disclose the anything that's wrong with the property, and we encourage buyers to do their inspections. Just recently, we sold a property that was listed with a traditional agent and expired. And it expired because it had structural issues in the basement. The foundation had structural issues. So the buyer was trying to sell this property as a traditional sale. So every time they received an offer and went into contract, it was contingent on inspection. Inspector would come in and scare the bejesus out of the buyer, and then the buyer would bail out. So they did that a number of times before the seller just said, you know what, we're done. The listing expired, and they contacted us. We ended up selling the property for more than the traditional agent. We sold it as is. Buyers came in and did their inspections ahead of time so that when they came to the auction, they were prepared to buy. They knew about the foundation issues. They already had their inspections, and they were confident in the property, and there was nothing, hiding. There were no physical defects with the property that were hidden. They knew everything that they needed to know. So they moved forward with the contract, and the deal didn't fall apart. Now, when we do no inspection contingencies, it means that if they put their bid in and win, and there's no inspection contingency in the contract, their deposit, they would lose their deposit if they walked away. So could they still walk away? Yes. Is there still a chance that there would be liability on their part? Yes, but it's usually limited to that deposit. So it really keeps these deals from falling apart. And that's something that I love about selling real estate at auction, because as a traditional agent, if you've ever experienced a deal falling apart because of an inspection, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And we've all been there, right? All right. So the next thing I like about selling real estate at auction is that there's no mortgage contingency. Buyers must pay cash. Now, does it mean that they can't go out and get a mortgage for their property? No, it just means that there's no mortgage contingency in the contract. It means that when they put their deposit down, their deposit is non-refundable. So they better be 100% sure that they're going to get that mortgage. They can pay cash for it if they want, but 9 out of 10 times they're paying cash plus getting a mortgage. There's just no mortgage contingency. They know when they come to that auction, they are coming prepared to buy. Otherwise, they're going to lose their deposit. And I think in my 32 years of selling real estate at auction, I've only had 2, maybe 3 that couldn't get financed. Maybe their private lender pulled the plug or something happened where they couldn't close and they lost their deposit. And so that's pretty good out of 32 years. So with selling at auction, you're attracting cash buyers, you're weeding out tire kickers, and you don't have to worry about a deal falling apart because of a mortgage contingency. Now, the next thing that I love about selling real estate at auction, and we're going to get into the book in a second, but the next thing that I love is that you can earn up to 5 times more per sale. How is that possible? Well, you can earn a commission, just like a traditional agent, plus a buyer's premium. So with an auction, a buyer typically pays a buyer's premium, and that's like a commission. For example, if the winning bid is $1 million and you have a 10% buyer's premium, the buyer would end up paying $1,100,000 for the property. So you can earn up to 5 times more per sale. You get the commission plus the buyer's premium, less any co-broke if you're paying a co-broke. Now, with that being said, the next thing that I love about selling real estate at auction is that you can sell a property for a 0% commission, okay, and still make a fortune. So, how's that possible? Just imagine running an ad or telling a seller that you can sell their property for 0% commission, no flat fee, no cost to the seller at all. How is it possible? Because you're charging the buyer a buyer's premium. So you could do that. You could run an ad and say, we'll sell your property as is for all cash for a 0% commission. Okay. And then you would charge the buyer a buyer's premium, and that's how you would make your commission. Now, if you could do that, if you had the ability to do that, imagine how you could beat out your competition. You could go on a listing appointment, never have to worry about commission being an issue with you getting the listing. Or maybe your competitor is offering 7% or 6% or 5%, and you can come in at 4 or 3 or 2 or even 0 if you wanted. So that's another thing that I really love about auctions. You have more flexibility in what you can charge. Okay. And then the next thing I love about selling real estate at auction is that you can do what's called a joint venture. Okay. Joint venture is when you auction off other agents' listings. So a lot of agents will hire an auctioneer to auction off their property. Or, for example, I conducted an auction once where I invited agents to bring a specific type of property to the auction, to place it in the auction. All right. In one auction, we had over 100 properties. We invited over 6,000 agents, and we ended up getting 100 properties. Actually, it was 101 properties in our auction. And we sold them all in one day, one afternoon. It was a live auction. You know, we rented out a big ballroom at a hotel. We had over 400 bidders attend the auction, and we sold over 100 properties in one day. Imagine selling 100 properties in one day, having the ability to sell that many properties in one day. Most agents don't do that in a year, let alone one day. But that's um, the benefit. One of the benefits of selling at auction, you have that opportunity to do that. All right. So while all these reasons sound great, it's important to keep in mind that just about any property can be sold at auction, but not every property should be sold at auction. So you can't just take what I'm saying here today and run out and start putting an auction sign on a property. That's a really quick way for you to hurt your reputation. Because while specific properties and situations will benefit greatly from an auction, it takes an experienced, well-trained auction professional to conduct a real estate auction successfully. When I take a listing for sale at auction, I have my exit strategy planned. I know exactly what my odds of selling that property are, and they're usually 99.9% guaranteed that I'm going to sell that property. And you have to be a well-trained auctioneer to be able to do that. And that's why I wrote my book. And it's actually, like I said, the second book that I've written on how to sell real estate at auction. I wrote that first book in 2009, over 10, 12 years ago. And a lot has changed, like I said, in the industry since then. So that's why I wrote this second book, and I held nothing back. Okay. I'm also a state approved real estate instructor. In case you missed it, um, I'm a broker for over 30 years. I have over 30 years experience in the real estate auction industry. And in addition to a successful career selling real estate at auction, I'm also a state approved real estate instructor and a passionate public speaker and author. And I share my knowledge and experience on how to sell real estate at auction with audiences all around the world through my books and my online courses. So, like I said, just because you can sell any property at auction, any type of property, residential, commercial, doesn't mean that every property should be sold at auction. And that's why I wrote the book, so that agents can learn more about this industry and really take advantage of selling at auction. So let's take a look now at the book. And I'm going to share my screen again. And you can find the book on Amazon. Let's see. You can find the book on Amazon, or you can go to sellingrealestateatauction.com and it'll take you right to the Amazon page. And the book is available on Kindle. It's available in paperback, and it's also available in hardcover. I prefer hardcover, but it's available in paperback or Kindle. And then, like I said earlier, I also produced the book on Audible, so there's an audio book, and the price of the book is $19. The Kindle's like $10, and then the audiobook is only $13. And I held nothing back. We're going to go through the table of contents before we end this virtual tour. And I'm going to show you what's in the table of contents, but just one or two chapters in this book is well worth the money spent on the book. It's an investment, because whether or not you get involved in auctions, I have a chapter that'll show you how to become the go-to agent in your market. I have a chapter that'll show you hidden sources of inventory, and just one listing, whether you sell it traditionally or at auction, could net you thousands upon thousands of dollars in commissions. So the thing is, are you willing to spend the time to read the book? Are you willing to spend the time to listen to the audiobook? Now, when I'm driving or walking, I walk a lot, or if I'm driving, traveling, I always have an audiobook in. If I'm working out, I always have an audiobook in. I'm always multitasking. So that's why I created the audiobook. So if you don't have time to read, buy the audiobook and listen to it while you're driving or working out. And I want you to, call me out and give me a review on Amazon after you listen to it. And you tell me, did I not deliver? Did I not give you everything? My 32 years condensed into a short audiobook, no fluff. Just, I read a lot. You can see all the books behind me. I have many more books than that on Kindle as well. And I read constantly, and I don't like a lot of fluff. There's not a lot of time. There's no reason. I listen to some audiobooks that are like 8 hours long. And there's just so much fluff. I just gave you all the meat and all the information, and really just delivered, so that you can take what you learn and go out and start making money with it. And then if you want, I also created a masterclass, and I converted the book into a masterclass, and the masterclass was like $47. Let's see if I can share the screen on that. So if you don't like to read and you want to listen to the audiobook, you prefer visual, I created a masterclass, and I'll tell you where that is. That is, let's see, Selling Real Estate at Auction masterclass. There it is there. All right, so hopefully you can see that. Oh, that's the school. Let me get you back to the I'm just getting used to this restream. So here's the masterclass. So I converted the book and the audiobook into a masterclass, as you can see here, and it's only $47. So you can go with the book, or you can go with the masterclass. And this is an investment of your time and just a little bit of money, so that you could figure out, is selling real estate at auction something that you want to pursue? Is it something that you want to add to your list of services? And I think after you read the book or listen to the audiobook, or attend the masterclass, there's 10 videos in the masterclass. You can also ask me questions during the masterclass. I think after you attend the masterclass or read the book, or listen to the audiobook, you will feel that this is definitely something that you want to learn more about. Let me just, so here's the masterclass website, Selling Real Estate at Auction masterclass.com. You can learn more about the masterclass, how to maximize your income with auctions, find property, sell at auction, earn up to 5 times more per sale, charge 0% commission, still make a fortune, sell probate property at auction. We didn't even talk about that, but in the book, in the masterclass, I show you how to find and sell probate properties at auction. I also talk about how to flip real estate deals at auction as a wholesaler, and then how to become a CREA, certified real estate auctioneer, how to get your designation to become a certified real estate auctioneer. So let's get back to the book. Let me make sure that you're seeing this. All right, so we're back on the Amazon page for the book, and I'm just going to go through the book real quick. I'll read you the description of the book, and then I'll quickly take you through the table of contents, and then I'll answer any questions, and then we'll end this virtual tour. So if you're a real estate agent looking to scale your business and increase your income, if so, selling real estate at auction, the key to scaling your business and skyrocketing your income as a real estate agent, is the book for you. In this comprehensive guide, you'll discover how to harness the power of auctions to list and sell more properties, close deals faster, and generate higher commissions. Drawing on over 30 years of experience in the real estate auction industry, the author, me, provides insider tips and strategies to maximize your earning potential as a real estate agent. Here are just a few of the skills that you're going to learn from reading this book. Again, how to maximize your sales and income using auctions, how to uncover an abundant source of motivated sellers, how to identify the best properties to sell at auction, how to earn up to 5 times more per sale using auctions, and how to charge a 0% commission and still make a fortune. You're going to be able to sell probate property at auction, how to flip real estate deals at auction, and I'll tell you how to become a CREA, certified real estate auctioneer, if you want to pursue that, and much more. The ability to sell real estate at auction offers an unlimited and profitable future for real estate brokers and agents. Whether you're a seasoned agent or just getting started, you're going to learn to find valuable insights and practical advice in this book and take your real estate sales to the next level. All right, it was written by me, an industry expert, and it's the ultimate primer for earning your CREA, certified real estate auctioneer designation, and learning how to sell properties quickly for the highest possible price at auction. So don't wait. Take your first step towards your CREA, certified real estate auctioneer designation by reading my book, Selling Real Estate at Auction, the key to scaling your business and skyrocketing your income as a real estate agent. Now I'm going to quickly go into the book, and let's see if you can see that. Good. You can see the book. I'm going to go through it. And here's the cover. And we're going to look at, there's a dedication there. Here's a table of contents. Chapter 1, unlocking the potential of selling at auction. Chapter 2, the key to maximizing your income as a real estate agent. That chapter right there is worth the price of the book. Auction gold mine, how to find motivated sellers and distressed properties to sell at auction. Look, if you're having an inventory problem right now and you can't find inventory, this chapter right here will show you just like a hidden trove, a hidden gold mine of listings, whether you want to sell them at auction or traditionally. But when you can make up to 5 times more selling at auction, why wouldn't you want to sell them at auction? And then chapter 4, from zero to hero, how to become the go-to listing agent in your market. The top 10 advantages of selling real estate at auction for sellers. So you can use this chapter right here in your listing presentation when you're talking to sellers to convert them to auction their properties and to convert them into auction listings. Chapter 6, auction versus traditional sale. Why some sellers would choose to auction their property rather than selling it traditionally. Chapter 7, making a fortune with 0% commission, how real estate auctioneers profit. I show you step by step the math involved in how to make a fortune, even if you're charging 0% commission. Chapter 8, unleashing the power of auctions. I show you 3 proven strategies for maximizing real estate auction income. Chapter 9, I give you the top 10 advantages of selling real estate at auction for agents. And then how to jumpstart your auction career as a CREA, certified real estate auctioneer. And then I have a whole list of resources for agents. You can even schedule a discovery call with me if you want. I show you how to do that in the book. We have the audio book. I talk about the masterclass. And we also have a community, an exclusive community, a private community for real estate agents that you can join now. You don't have to buy my book. You don't have to even spend a nickel. You can join the Real Estate Auction Network right now. It doesn't cost you anything. And you can learn through our workshops. We have free workshops. You can network with other agents who are in our programs and who are certified real estate auctioneers. And you can just see what's going on inside this niche industry. All right. So, and we also have a book club. So I'm going to go back to, I'm going to stop sharing. All right. So that's it. That's the virtual book tour. And hopefully I didn't go too fast. I'm really glad you were able to join me. Now, maybe this is not for you. Maybe you want to stick to selling real estate traditionally, and that's fine. I think that all agents should understand how to sell real estate at auction. In fact, if you look at your license law in most states, you're already licensed. Most agents are already licensed to sell real estate at auction. If you look at your license law, if you have a real estate sales license or broker's license, if you look at your law in your Department of State, it probably says that you're licensed also to auction real estate. So there's only a few states where you have to have an auctioneer's license in addition to your broker's license. But my book and all my information is geared towards real estate agents, and I show real estate agents how to sell real estate at auction, how to make money selling real estate at auction. So maybe it's not for you. Maybe you might want to share this out with an agent. If you know a real estate agent, you can share it out. We also have an affiliate program. If you want to become an affiliate and you want to, we can give you a link to all of our products, our courses, and you can share the link out, and we'll pay you every time someone joins our course or buys one of our enrolls in one of our courses. And you can also share out our live streams. And maybe you're a broker and you have agents on your team, and you want to help them to be more successful, to be able to sell more properties, make more money. Because you know what? I read an article that over 60,000 agents have already left the industry this year because it's tough. And if you're a broker, I know you know what I'm talking about. A lot of agents are not making money. They're not doing well right now. So this is something that can really help them turn their business around instead of quitting and hanging up their license. All right. So I really appreciate everyone that joined me here today. Like I said, we're streaming this out to like 12 or 13 different channels. I do have a chat up here. If you have any questions before we go, I'd be happy to answer them. If not, I want to say thank you again. Click that follow button, share this out with your fellow real estate agents, your fellow colleagues, and I hope to see you on my next live stream. Thanks for watching, and I wish you all the success in your real estate career.